For those who watched football during the mid-90s and 2000s, the name Ronaldo is something that takes them back to moments of sheer power, athletic prowess, and dribbling at high speeds. Now, that's the sad part of time. People tend to forget the pioneers, especially when a similar namesake has also been making a killing. And that is exactly what has happened. Kids of today were never able to see the absolute brilliance of Ronaldo Nazario, the first and only of his kind. The Brazilian is one of the greatest strikers of all time, and since his retirement, no one has come anywhere near to matching his greatness on the pitch. But before we begin, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications, because we're in the business of creating good content on a regular basis, so you won't want to miss out on any of it. Okay, so these days, the first thing that comes into anyone's mind when someone utters the name Ronaldo is the Portuguese goal-scoring machine, who is now playing in Saudi Arabia. And we understand why, because CR7 is one of the most famous players of all time. Most of the current football fans, especially the younger ones, grew up watching Cristiano, and at that time, the Brazil national team was also going through a period of great transformation. But if you are a true football aficionado, you would definitely know who Ronaldo Nazario is, a unique striker, the likes of which world football has never seen. He's normally distinguished as the Ronaldo with the weird hairstyle, or the fat one, because at the tail end of his career, the Brazilian did put on quite a lot of weight. But that would be totally unfair, because back in the day, he was the most fearsome striker on the planet. So we weep for the fact that people have forgotten Ronaldo and relate to him in such a way, because if this Ronaldo was playing football today, he would make the achievements of the likes of Mbappe, Lewandowski and Harry Kane look like amateur hours. Ronaldo first broke onto the scene in Brazil with Cruzeiro, for whom he scored 44 goals in 44 games. Such performances naturally led to him becoming part of the Brazil squad that won the World Cup in 1994 at the expense of Italy. While he wasn't offered a lot of time in USA 94, Ronaldo had more than earned himself a move to PSV Eindhoven in the Netherlands. In 2 seasons there, he scored 54 goals in 57 games, thus showing that a change of scenery was never going to impact his performances. This is something a lot of South American players still struggle with to this day. At the age of 19, Ronaldo's reputation was growing. His pace, acceleration, balance, close control, and ability to dribble at great speeds left many in awe. So it was only a matter of time when a legit European giant would come calling. And it happened in 1996 when Barcelona came knocking. Obviously, Ronaldo was never going to say no to play for such a remarkable institution. In the same year, he became the youngest player to win the FIFA World Player of the Year award. However, 47 goals and 49 games later, Ronaldo was on his way, which was very strange. And that was a very weird exit as well, because at that time, Barca thought that they had an agreement in place with the player where he would be with them forever. Unfortunately, the agreement collapsed, with ex-Barca president Josep Luis Núñez admitting that it was all over. Inter Milan were quietly observing what was an absurd situation, and when the time was right, swooped in with $27 million, thus making him the most expensive player of all time. Ronaldo signed a 5-year deal with the Nerazzurri and was presented to 4,000 fans at their training ground. Now, at that time, Serie A was quite a difficult league to score freely in. Many great strikers of that time struggled to register a bucket load of goals, so everyone expected Ronaldo to take his time to settle. But then again, Ronaldo was never a regular player, was he? By the end of his first season in Italian Serie A, the phenomenon had scored 25 Serie A goals and was the league's Footballer of the Year. This was when the Brazilian became a complete forward. Not only was he scoring, he was also creating chances for his teammates. Ronaldo's career is that of ecstasy and misery, and then redemption. So keep watching this video so that you know exactly what happened with him ahead of the 1998 World Cup final against France. Halfway through his first season in Italy, the striker ended up winning the FIFA World Player of the Year award for the second time, and also won the Ballon d'Or. And then came the 1998 World Cup in France. At that time, Brazil were heavy favourites to go all the way, And who could bet against them? The Selecao had a squad that oozed quality in every single position, and the Brazilians turned on the style throughout France '98 before they faced their hosts. The French won the final 3-0, and Ronaldo cut an anonymous figure throughout the game. According to legendary BBC match commentator John Motson, when the team sheets were handed out for the final, Ronaldo's name was not there. While everyone was trying to make sense of what was going on, those who saw Brazilian players before the game knew that something was amiss. For instance, goalkeeper Dida later revealed that Ronaldo wasn't well and had gone to the hospital. Later on, it was further revealed that Ronaldo had experienced convulsions. He was definitely in no shape or form to be in the starting 11. Knowing that his teammates needed him, Ronaldo told everyone that he will play. Edmundo was supposed to start in his place, but was back on the bench. That, however, turned out to be a grave mistake, because throughout the final, Ronaldo did not look his usual self. No one could believe that this was a player who had won 2 FIFA Player of the Year awards and had scored 4 goals in the tournament. There are tons of conspiracy theories suggesting that Ronaldo started the final due to pressure from Brazilian sponsor Nike. The final was a start of Ronaldo's downfall. Very early in the next season, he ruptured his tendon. In 2000, he made his comeback but sadly suffered a complete rupture of his kneecap tendons. In fact, the player's physio said that Ronaldo's kneecap exploded and was termed the worst football injury he had ever seen. Il Fenomeno lost 2 seasons due to those nasty knee injuries, but it still did not stop him from being inducted into the Inter Milan Hall of Fame in 2018. Now for the moment of redemption. After nearly 3 years in the wilderness and spending most of that time in treatment, no one expected Ronaldo to return for the Brazil national side, let alone guide them to World Cup glory. But then again, this is Ronaldo we're talking about. He was always, while his selection was never in question for the first ever World Cup in Asia, no one expected him to be the main man. Becoming world champion was his obsession, so it wasn't that surprising to see him start his campaign with a goal against Turkey. He'd then find the net against China and then Costa Rica. In the round of 16, he scored once against Belgium. He was always a threat in the last 8 against England, but couldn't find the net. In the semi-final, he scored the only goal of the game against underdogs Turkey. The Khan of Germany. He scored twice in the last 30 minutes to ensure that Brazil would banish the ghost of 1998 forever. That was a crowning moment Ronaldo had longed for such a long time. In order to have that moment, he had to totally reinvent himself. While his game had changed due to those knee injuries, Ronaldo was still at his devastating best. He would soon move to Real Madrid, where he continued banging in important goals, including a hat-trick against Manchester United at Old Trafford, where the opposition fans gave him a standing ovation. Injuries returned soon after, and then Ronaldo had issues with his weight, but that did not stop him from scoring over 50 goals for the Spanish Giants. Moves to Milan and then Corinthians would follow soon, but Ronaldo never managed to shake off his injury or weight issues. Nonetheless, he would go down in history as one of the greatest strikers of all time. What really made him stand out was not just his sheer godlike ability on the pitch, it was the fact that a serious knee injury that could have ended his career in 1999 did not stop him from achieving greatness. It takes a lot of courage to reinvent yourself, and that's exactly what Ronaldo did. Football has never seen a striker of his capabilities, and in our heart of hearts, we feel that there will be no other striker who'd come anywhere near to El Fenomeno. So guys, let us know which of the Ronaldo goals stands out for you. Share your thoughts in the comments and make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on your notifications because we're always cooking something nice.